Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is May finished pages, and considering that I've been spending a lot of time in the garden with all this nice weather that we've been having, and I've been doing a lot of diamond painting at the start of the month, I've still managed to get through quite a bit. I've got one whip that I'm currently working on. If you do follow me on Instagram, which is my same name as YouTube, I shared it on my stories last night. But anyway, let's get into the actual finished pages. Now, I think this might be the one and only illustration that I've finished with this. And as you can tell, I've been getting into plants, and therefore I've been enjoying colouring flowers and plants, that sort of thing. And there's plenty in this boot for me to pick from. I did this one, and this was done over the span of about 4 or 5 days, starting bits, coming back to it, starting bits, and coming back to it. I love how it turned out though, I love it. I used Derwent ink tints for the initial base of colour, so you can't really, I suppose you can, like these really light yellow, and then going into like a white colour. That's all the ink tints, all the light green underneath, even like the fading on the birds, all ink tints. And then I switched over to the chromophore pencils. The chromophore pencils went on a really good deal on Amazon a couple of weeks ago, and I ended up caving and purchasing them. But before I did, I'd already got, I think it was the set of 24, and I weren't too pleased with them. I think three of the 24 pencils constantly kept snapping. I've not pulled them out. Got my Prismacolors handy, but not them. And they were like this small, and I barely even used them. And I thought maybe it was just teething problems because they were brand new pencils. So I thought I'd give these a try. And at first I thought, oh my god, you know, they're really, really beautiful, vibrant colours. The barrels are really, really light, which I prefer a heavier. Like my Polychromos here is it's a decent weight pencil to hold. They're my very favourites. If I can reach my light fast pencils. Yeah, and the Chromophore, I think they're really, really light, and I know they're not budget friendly, but they're not like artist quality like them two pencils that I just showed you. But I was having issues again with one certain colour, and I think it was one of the oranges, and I managed to get it halfway down. I even ended up switching, instead of using my Helix crank sharpener, I switched to using this, and I was still having the same issues. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on. The colours are really, really vibrant. I think I'll just, if I have an issue with a certain colour, I just won't use that pencil and move on to the next. But overall, I like the effect. I think I ended up switching over to Prismacolor because the oranges were just really annoying me. So yeah, I switched over to Prismacolor on that one. I didn't bother doing a background because it was so busy, the page. Ideally, I probably should have done like an ink tint, a light colour not ink tints, distress ink background, just to get rid of the white of the paper. But I weren't going over the top of everything else that I'd spent loads of time on. And I'm just noticing as well, there is a couple of white details, which is the acrylic paint pen. Now I just go onto Amazon and type in Soonest. I have it linked now more or less in all of my videos because they're cracking, really good. And believe me, I have gone through so many white acrylic pens, Posca pens, gel pens, you name it, I've probably tried it, and that's my favourite, and it's really budget friendly as well. So that's Twilight Garden by Maria Trolley. I think I have shared that actually on Instagram. I'm pretty sure I have. This one is near the top as well because I did finish this one off. I did partly film, I think I filmed most of this, and I was having issues with some of the bits that I'd finished off the marker, so I didn't include it. But it turns out that the artist did message me back, and unfortunately this is AI. I think somebody commented and said like that's why I was struggling with certain areas, like I couldn't work out whether it was her or a stem or part of a petal, and that's why, because it was AI. So if I'd have known that, I probably wouldn't have made a dedicated video just on this book and highlighting that book. I mean, if you like AI art, then fine, but I do prefer a real person, let's say, actually drawing the illustration from scratch. But like I said, that's nothing against anyone that does AI or likes AI art. But it is what it is. I've already done it now, and I do think it's turned out beautiful. I used alcohol markers for the whole of the illustration, pencil work over the top, and then some glitter highlights here and there. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that. Oh, I used distress ink as well on the background, and I've got to say as well, I've been printing off on this Nina paper. I love it, absolutely love it. It's pricey to get over here in the UK, but I think it was 100. Is it 100? Oh, I'll pack them all away, but it's a big block, so it's going to last me a long time. I can't remember the artist of that as well. If you look back to my last video, I actually link it, the book, because you can get the printed off Amazon paper book of that, but that was just a freebie on Facebook. Now, I've got two Mystic Art mirrors. Is it two? No, I've got three of her new colouring book. I can't for the life of me remember the name of her new colouring book. But I did all of this in watercolour, and then a little bit, let me just double check, polychromos. A little bit of polychromos over the top, and I went way over the top with the white dot detailing. And again, I use that Sunis acrylic paint pen. It's really good. So the reason that I did this in purely just watercolour is because I really wanted to test the paper. I'd give it the alcohol marker and distressing and pencil. It works beautifully on, and I was just curious, to be honest, to see what it'd be like doing backgrounds with this. Talking about backgrounds, I've not done the background on this one, but I was that pleased with it. I didn't want to do a background. I'll show you that in a minute. But the watercolour paints that I used for this one were my Rembrandt ones. They are ridiculously expensive for what they are, but they are one of my favourite paints, and you can see it's well loved. I think I'm halfway through this fuchsia pink and probably a third the way through this turquoise now. Yeah, one of my favourite watercolour palettes, that. Yeah, I like how she turned out. I mean, this skin's not perfect, but you know, it is what it is. I like how it turned out though. I do like how it turned out. Yeah, she's snazzy. So it was Mystic Art mirrors, and then I've got these that are from the same book as well, actually. So I'll show you this one first. And I didn't think it needed a background, this, because I was so pleased, alcohol marker again, with how it turned out. I just didn't want to attempt a background and then not be happy with it. But over the top, oh, where are them new paints? I think the shop owner, is it Stacey Illustrations? Where's the card? So I've kept them cards. Where's the other card? I don't know, but it was these watercolours, and I did a dedicated video on these as well. These are really nice paints. That one in particular down there is lovely, lovely. So if you are interested, there is a video. Oh, am I going to be able to shut this? I repurposed this. Mint came in this. So yeah, that's them paints. Just move it up in the light, and they just catch the light beautifully. Really love the paints. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this. I think the fact as well that I really enjoyed the paper. This is light fast pencils, and you know what? All of it's light fast pencils and alcohol markers, actually, with a touch of that watercolour on. I think it turned out absolutely lovely. And then the last Mystic Art mirrors one, again from the same PDF, is this one. And the hair, look at the hair. Look at that hair. That is Spectrum Noir Sparkle, not pens. Let me just show you. So these are the Spectrum Noir Sparkle pens, and these are the little pots. So there's a little ball in, so you can mix it. Really, this is the same as that so you just apply this with a paintbrush. This is just more handy, but in saying that, the amount of times that I've used these things and they've exploded on me, it's not funny, so I prefer using the little tubs now. But these ones are called Spectrum Rise Sparkle, and then the Sparkle pens. So that's how I've managed to get it really, really shiny. And again, I didn't do a watercolour background on this because I wasn't sure what this reacted to, like with water. I couldn't remember, and I loved it. And I think this is probably the most popular colouring page that I've added to Instagram. I think as of today it's about 430 likes, which that's very impressive. That's very impressive for me anyway, on my Instagram. But isn't it nice? I use Prismacolor for like the shells, and they're meant to be seaweed and a bit of makeup. Went over the top with the makeup, but I thought over the top her, over the top makeup definitely. And I added some pink freckles with stars. I think she's lovely. So that's the 3 that I've done. I think it really does help because I love that paper, and it's just, it makes it so much more enjoyable for me. Which one do you prefer as the 3? I like the hair because it's shiny on that one, but I like the skin better on that one. But I do like the dots on this one and the background. So I've actually done different colour, well sort of. That's a little bit lighter turquoise, and I've done pink eyes on that one. So yeah, let me know which one is your favourite out of the 3 this month. So I need to go in my binder. I've got one from Hannah Calzon. This is Seasons, I do believe. And I finished this one. I went back to my roots and did that watercolour background, really, really simple. Yeah, and I always enjoy it when I do them. I always enjoy it, and then I don't do them for months at a time. So I really enjoyed them. So this was because of this. I bought a vivarium. I found a vivarium in Bent's garden centre. So I went searching in my colouring boots, and that was the closest one that I could find at the time. So that's what I did. So like I said, watercolour background, that Sunis acrylic paint pen again, some sparkly gel pen, and then I do believe it's Inktense for the rest of the details, with a little bit of the chromophore pencils over the top. So you can see the chromophore pencils, again I used in the orange. So I think I did this one first, then I moved, yeah I did, and then I moved over to that one. So I wasn't having an issue at the start of the pencil. It's as I was sharpening it, I don't know what on earth was going on. I love looking back at my books though, and just seeing how far I've come in my pages. And Hannah Calzon is definitely still up there, one of my favourites. She always will be, because she was the first proper illustrator I just fell in love with. Talking about another Hannah Calzon, we've got Magical Dawn. Which one did I do in this one? Oh, this is a whip. So, there is a sort of story behind this one. I've just realised as well, there's glitter everywhere. I spent a good couple of hours filling all these in and going over the top with the new colours of the Inktense pencils, and I activated them, let it dry, and then stupid me decided to do a watercolour background over the top. I don't know why I've not come back and finished it, so I'm going to have to keep it out to make sure that I do come back, because I do like that. So, pull that to one side. Oh god, I've been on a Hannah Calzon kick apparently. I hope I finished this one. Yeah, so I did this one. And this was really early in the month, I think. Distress ink background again. So you see that I'm going through like phases of things that I like. Some stickles as well at the top that you can just see glistening. And then I want to say Inktense again. Really, yeah, it is. They're Inktense pencils. They're some of the new colours. And then some of the new colours as well. One was called Gold something, I think. And that's what I used. Unfortunately, it has bled through terribly on the other side, but I'll get away with covering that up. I've just realised I could do that as a vivarium, couldn't I? That looks similar, doesn't it? But yeah, beautiful and bright, that one. Really lovely and bright. And then we've got Enchanted Earth. Now I don't think I mentioned this, but I got it. I don't think I put it in like a haul video or anything. but I did this illustration, so it's the eyeball. If you can hear anything in the background, it is my daughter squealing because she's watching Bing Bunny. Yeah, it's the eyeball, and I use Inktense again with this one, and these are some of the new colours. I think one of them's called Mango, Flame off the top of my head, and some of the new turquoise shades. Yeah, all of this was Inktense actually. And then this that you can see here, I actually used my Inktense blocks because obviously it was too big to do such a small area. But yeah, I quite like this one. Some of the pages are really, really detailed, but I can see myself colouring quite a few. It reminds me a little bit of Kirby Roseanne's, just a little bit. There's just like a twang, something that I really like that one. With the mushrooms. So my last page, well technically it's two now because I've got that Hannah Calzone one. I've got Anastasia Cold River, and which book is this? A Maritime. And I started this not last night, the night before. Again, I've just been on a flower kick. I think in the background I plan on either using a gouache or just an acrylic paint and fill it in one colour, and then possibly go around the rest in a different colour. I've just got the hair to do. That with the background will not take long. I've just got the hair to do, and then fill in the eyebrows as well. But I really enjoyed doing this. The skin for this, like I said, I've still got them out because I only finished the skin last night. Don't judge my, this is the only pencil case that I allow you to get messy, so don't judge because I use them that often. I used, for the shading, Lavender PC934, and then I used Henna PC1031, and then Nectar PC1092, and then Light Peach PC927, and it was just them colours to achieve that skin tone. It took quite a few layers and a little bit of patience and a little bit of blending at the end. I used, what was it, the Prisma blender over the top, only ever so slightly, got bits everywhere, but I did go ahead and use Polychromos for the eyelashes, because Polychromos, you can get a really nice sharp point to it. And then my sunflower, I actually googled the correct colours, and I hope that I've managed to pull it off. I really enjoyed colouring this, really enjoyed colouring that sunflower. But anyway, that is all my finished pages. Now, if we're in for nice weather again this month, then I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the garden. Hopefully, I'll be able to pull out my table and actually do some art in the garden. That'd be nice. So maybe there'll be a few more. Like I said, I have been working a lot on the diamond painting. I don't know if I should share it on either this channel or my other one. That sort of just become a ghost now because I just stopped doing videos on there. Because it's a mystery kit and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. If anyone purchases it, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So I don't know if it's a good idea to share it or not. So I'm going to try my best to get these in a decent order. Because I want to get a good thumbnail. This is how I do a thumbnail. Basically, try and push everything over a bit. So yeah, here's to next month. Next month, nicer weather and more art. What do you think? If you're new to my channel, then please do go ahead and subscribe. I do try my best to do at least 1 to 2 videos a week, all depending with school, my daughter's health, the weather, but that's what I try to do. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!